So we'll start by looking at the data cleaning tools. You really know what data cleaning is, because for data cleaning, you are checking for the inconsistencies in the data, and then you are going to address such inconsistencies such as missing values, if they are duplicates. So that's what data cleaning entails. So here we have a keyword, the description of data cleaning. It says that data cleaning, also known as, can also be referred to as data cleansing or data scrubbing. So these are terms that you also need to know, that data cleaning can be referred to as data cleansing or data scrubbing. So you need to identify the errors, inconsistencies, and inaccuracies in the data set. You not only identify such errors, but you identify them and you correct. So that's what data cleaning entails. So the goal of data cleaning is to ensure that the data that you have is ready for analysis. So maybe just if we can do a recap, we looked at the data life cycle. So by looking at the data life cycle, when we were looking at the data mining steps in the data mining process, we already know we were improving on the data life cycle that you already know. Because from our last classes, the previous classes that we've had, we've said that there's not much difference between data analytics and data mining. So in the data mining, we looked at the techniques for data mining. You can use statistical techniques or statistical models, or you can use machine learning models. So in machine learning, there you are applying artificial intelligence. I shared these notes, hope you received them. So maybe you can just unmute. Let's recap. What are the steps in the data mining? The data mining phases or steps. What are the steps in the data mining process? It's open. Steps in data mining. Anyone?
Business understanding.
Yeah, business understanding.
Data understanding.
Data understanding. What does business understanding entail?
It enables us to know the goals. The stakeholders give the goal of the project, the quality of the data which you're going to use. Yeah.
Other than that, step 2.
Data understanding.
Data understanding, step 3.
Data preparation.
So in the data preparation phase, we have?
In the data preparation, we have data cleaning. And then data transformation.
Yeah, that's correct. So that's the phase that we're interested in. So you have to see that at each phase, because the main goal is to prepare this data for analysis. So what are the tools used? So cleaning is one of the key activities because it prepares data to be in a suitable format for analysis. So it's important we understand it and the tools that are used. So the goal of data cleaning is to ensure that the data is complete, accurate, and consistent. And above all, this data is free from errors. So this will ensure that, This will ensure that we have data that will give us the analysis that we'll do in the data will be reliable and will assist in the decisions that will be undertaken. So some of the steps in the data cleaning process, hope you can be able to see my screen, will include the first step in the data cleaning will be identification of data quality issues. So the data quality issues, so these are the issues that need to be addressed. So the identification of data quality issues, maybe you observe, you see there are some rows or some cells with missing values. You scan through and you see that there are duplicates or at times inconsistent data format. Inconsistent data format can come in this way. We've already looked at the data types. So let's say in a column, you're expecting, we have the column field where you have names. So you should expect the data in that field to be for you to have characters there, but maybe you find that you have numbers in that column. So that is an inconsistent data format. You also need to address that. Then if there are outliers, this mainly comes when you are dealing with numerical data. So the numerical data here, it can either be discrete or continuous. So you can still be able to recall those types of data. So outliers are those extreme data points. So how are you able to address outliers in the case of extreme values? Because when you are using maybe statistical modeling, you want to, there'll be measures of central tendency. You want to offer summary in the data, for example, the average. So if you have extreme data points, they are going to affect the average. The mean is mainly affected by outliers, those extreme data points. So you have to identify the quality issues. That's the first step. Identify the quality issues. Yes, Dorcas, you've raised your hand. Do you have a question? Okay. After identification of the data quality issues, the next step is to develop a data cleaning plan. So in a data cleaning plan, when you are developing a data cleaning plan, you've identified the quality issues. Now in the data cleaning plan, you now you develop a plan on how you are going to address each of the issues. If you had duplicates, how are you going to sort out the issue of duplicates? How are you going to sort out the issue of missing values? So that's where we talk about developing a data cleaning plan. So once the data quality issues have been identified, a plan should be developed on how to address each issue. So what should be specified in the plan? The plan should specify the methods that will be used to clean the data. So what methods are you going to use? So if for the duplicates, maybe you're going to delete the cells or columns with duplicate values. You remove the duplicated values completely. If you have some cells with missing values, so if there was numerical, you can decide to include the average value in those cells with missing values. So that's if your data was organized in a spreadsheet. Or you can also decide to delete the rows or columns with missing values. So you are specifying the methods that you are going to use to clean the data. So if the outliers, we have methods of dealing with outliers. So you can decide to remove those extreme data points and replace them with an average value. Other than that, you've In the plan, you've specified the methods that you are going to use to clean the data. You should also specify the criteria that will be used to determine whether the data has been successfully cleaned. So for the criteria, maybe you can say before the data has been taken through the analysis process, you have to re-examine the data to check if the missing values have been clearly addressed, that there are no rows or columns with missing values. If there are duplicates, you should constantly check that there's no repeated value if duplicates are not allowed. In that case, if duplicates are not allowed, you should check that there are no duplicates. So that's the criteria that will be used to determine whether the data has been successfully cleaned. So that's number 2, you develop a cleaning plan. You identify first step, you identify the data quality issue. Step 2, you develop a data cleaning plan. You develop a data cleaning plan. After developing a data cleaning plan, step 3, you clean the data. And when you are cleaning the data, so you now clean the data according to the plan. You clean the data according to the plan. Clean the data. So this may involve removing duplicates. So you had already specified these in the data cleaning plan. So some of the methods that you'll use to clean the data, you remove duplicates, you fill in missing values. Maybe the missing values you can be able to fill in with the average, or if you're not filling it in with the average, you can completely decide to eliminate or delete the cells with missing values. You standardize the data formats. So if the field contains that, if the field specified that it should contain numerical values, it should strictly have numerical values. That's the standardizing of the data formats. And you also remove outliers. There are methods for removing outliers. So this is where you are now cleaning the data. Now, step 4, you validate. Remember that the validation was where you are setting in a criteria. Yes, Mayom, you're asking number 1. You are to set criteria that will be used to determine whether the data has been successfully cleaned. Now, to ensure that this data has been successfully cleaned, that's where we'll now have the validation. You validate the data. After the data has been cleaned, it should be validated to ensure that the cleaning process is effective. That's why I was telling you, re-examining the data for missing values, duplicates, or inconsistencies to ensure that they have been correctly addressed. To ensure they have been correctly addressed. Unless there's a question, that's number 4. Then the last step, once you've validated and confirmed that the duplicates or the inconsistencies have been correctly addressed, that shows that you've successfully cleaned the data that you have. Your data is now ready for analysis. now should be able to document the data cleaning process. So in documenting the data cleaning process, in the data cleaning report, so in short, you should be able to prepare a report. So in the data cleaning report, the methods used should be included in that report. The criteria used to determine whether the data has been cleaned, and any decisions that were made during the cleaning process. So the decisions that were made during the cleaning process were like you remove duplicates, filling in the missing values, standardizing data formats, or removing outliers. That should be included in the data cleaning report, which is documenting. It's summarized as documenting the data cleaning process. So the documentation will help. I know you might be asking yourself, why is this documentation necessary? The documentation helps to ensure that data remains clean and reliable for future analysis. Because after the data has been cleaned, this is when you are when now the data can be taken through the modeling stage. So in the modeling stage, that's where the actual analysis is done. So now the analysis can be done. The data is ready for analysis because you've addressed the inconsistencies and the inaccuracies in the data. Unless there's a question on that. So we've talked about the steps taken in the data cleaning process and what the data cleaning process entails. So what are some of the tools that are used to be able to clean the data? Tools used in data cleaning. So data cleaning tools include, at least for each, you should know at least 2 tools. The examiner can just ask you which of the following is not a data cleaning tool. So one of the data cleaning tools is Alteryx. So you know what data cleaning entails. Just need to know the tools. So Alteryx in itself is a self-service data analytics platform that helps analysts to prepare, blend, and analyze data from various sources. So generally it's used for data cleaning. You do not need to know much, but we know that it's used for data cleaning. So it provides a drag and drop interface for data cleaning and transformation. So it supports a wide variety of data types. So when you're talking about structured, let me see if you can be able to recall. So data can exist in structured, semi-structured, and unstructured formats. So what is structured data? Structured.
Structured data is well organized and formatted data that fits into predefined fields.
Follows a predefined format. Unstructured, Brenda?
Unstructured data is data that is not organized into rows and columns, e.g. emails, pics, and videos.
It doesn't follow a predefined format. Then George, semi-structured. Dorcas, you can assist. So Alteryx provides a library of pre-built data cleaning workflows. So this can be customized to meet specific data requirements. So some of the pre-built data cleaning workflows, one of them is SSIS. So SSIS, this is SQL Server Integration Services. So when we'll be looking at, we look at SQL when you're looking at data management tools. So in the data management, SQL refers to a database. So when you are designing a database, we looked at data models. So this was in our, either if it's not the first lesson, the second lesson. So the data modeling levels. So the data model starts from, data modeling starts with conceptual data model. From conceptual, you move to?
Hello, sir. Hello?
Yes.
Can you emphasize more about structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data?
Who's asking the question?
Is this my own?
So this refers to varieties of data. We covered this in the first lesson. So structured is the data that exists in rows and columns and follows a predefined format. For example, data in a spreadsheet, or what you commonly, data in an Excel sheet. That's data that exists in rows and columns. That is structured. Unstructured doesn't exist in rows and columns and doesn't follow a predefined format. For example, data from a social media platform, data from websites, or the example that was given if you've received an email. So maybe an email can be semi-structured. If it contains an attachment, so that attachment has spreadsheet files. So the spreadsheet file, maybe it's following is structured. Then maybe in the body of the email we have unstructured. It's not organized in rows and columns, so not necessarily it can be unstructured now, or semi-structured is in between. We have a given portion is structured, a given portion is unstructured. So in SQL, it's used in data management. So when we saw data modeling, it refers to the stages that are used to design a database: conceptual, logical, and the physical data models. Please do not forget that, keep on refreshing, such that the terms, you're familiar with the terms. So this SQL Server Integration Services. So this one is a data integration tools provided by Microsoft. So this is the second tool, because you've been able to see one of the data cleaning tools, Alteryx. This is one of them. The second one is SQL Server Integration Services. So it's a data integration tool provided by Microsoft that allows analysts to perform data cleaning, transformation, and migration tasks. So migration, maybe you want to move data from this source to another platform. So this one is mainly used in Microsoft technology. So it can support a variety of data sources. So when we are seeing XML data is XLS. So XML is mainly, these are different Excel formats, can be used different Excel formats. So it can allow data from multiple sources. So SQL Server Integration Services is also data cleaning tools. So it provides a range of data transformation and cleaning tasks. So some of them are, because here you can see there's data profiling, fuzzy matching, and data deduplication. So what does it entail? Because I can recall in one of the settings, data profiling also refers to. So you ask what's data profiling, we'll be able to see that. So when you're looking at data profiling, so it's the process of analyzing and summarizing characteristics of the data set to understand their structure, content, and qualities. So it involves examining the data to identify patterns, outliers, missing values, or any other quality issues. So this data profiling, identifying quality issues. So you can only be able to identify data quality issues through data profiling. SQL Server Integration Services provides that. Then there is fuzzy matching. So in fuzzy matching, so it's a technique used to identify and match records in data sets that are similar or similar but not identical. So it's fuzzy matching that can be used to identify if there are duplicates or not. So similar but not identical. So just to ensure that there are no duplicates. Then data deduplication. Now this is the process of identifying and removing duplicate records from a data set. The process of identifying and removing duplicate records from a data set. That's why you can be able to see it assists in data profiling, fuzzy matching, and data deduplication. So Alteryx will also provide with the same. Generally, we are just looking at these steps that you are able to follow when doing data cleaning. Any question? So the first two tools that we've looked at, Alteryx and SQL Server Integration Services. Another data cleaning tool is the data stage. So what the data stage does, so data stage is an ETL. In data analytics, I told you when you see the term, the abbreviation ETL, E stands for extraction. You extract data from various sources. T, transform. So the transformation is where you are doing the data cleaning activities. And then load. So loading, the data is taken into an analysis platform. So data stage is an ETL tool provided by IBM that helps analysts to extract data from various sources. That is E, clean it, the transformation, and then load it into the target database or data warehouse. So data warehouse is just a large database that accommodates data from various sources. So the data stage can provide a wide variety of data cleaning tasks. So the same. So data profiling, it assists you to check the data quality issues. Data validation helps you check whether the data cleaning activities were successful. So data validation will come after data cleansing. So one of the activities in data cleansing is data deduplications, removing the duplicates, or how do you sort out the missing values. So here it's just an explanation of the terms that are used in describing the data cleaning activities provided with data stage as a data cleaning tool. Unless there's a question on that. Any question on data cleaning? Because it's a term that we've looked at repeatedly. Question on data cleaning? Any question on data cleaning? Okay. So let's look at December 2022. December 2022. Okay. Question 19. Alteryx is an example of Alteryx is an example of
data cleaning tool.
An example of data cleaning tool. Data stage is an example of data stage.
Data cleaning.
SQL Server Integration Services tool is an example of
Data cleaning
Data
tool.
cleaning tool.
data cleaning tool. Yeah. Question 1. Which of the following is an example of data cleaning tool? Oracle, Excel, Alteryx, Power BI.
Alteryx.
Alteryx.
Alteryx. What's the purpose of data profiling? To validate the data, transform the data, understand quality and structure, to visualize the data.
Visualize the
Understand
data.
Yes.
To understand data
profiling.
quality and structure.
Let me take you back. Data profiling is the process of analyzing and summarizing the characteristics of data set to understand the quality and structure. So data visualization is one of the techniques that you'll use, but that does not mean that data visualization is data profiling, unless you've checked and there's no any other choice that correctly describes data profiling. That's when you can go to, you can choose visualization. But in this case, you can see to validate data, to transform data, to understand quality and structure.
Yes.
So transforming data is the actual cleaning process. Question 3. Which of the following is a type of no, for visualization, leave it hatujaenda hapo. What is a data? No, data warehouse is also in data management. Jafika kwa tools. Bado. What is the purpose of data deduplication?
Remove duplicate records.
Remove duplicate records.
Yeah, to remove duplicate records. Next we go to data management. So when it comes to data management basically deals with data storage. So in data storage, you can have your data in a database, a data lake. I think I'll give you a summary on what describes well. I'll share it in the course of the week. The difference between a data lake, a data warehouse, a database. Something that can be asked, but it's under data management. So for data management, there are 2 types of database. For this case is SQL. So SQL stands for Standard Query Language. So it's a standard language used to manage relational database. So when you're talking about relational database is database that contains various tables. For example, you can have a school database, we can have the student table. So the student table will contain various fields and records. For example, the student ID, which can be the primary key, student names, address, etc. So it's widely used in data analytics for querying, updating, and managing data. So when you are querying, to query is to retrieve data from a database. To updating data, if there are any records to be added or there are some corrections to be made, and managing the data. So SQL provides a range of data management tasks for creating, modifying database objects. So it also helps you manage database security and also optimize database performance. So what you need to know that it is a standard language used to manage relational database. So relational database, this is a database where the entities are organized into different tables. So it's used for querying, updating, and managing data. Another type of database is Oracle. So Oracle, yes? So Oracle is also a database management system. So this one is mainly used for large enterprises So SQL cannot, to ensure that large enterprises can be served efficiently. So Oracle is above SQL. You can go for Oracle. So it provides a variety of tools and technologies for data management and analysis. Then, if you cannot be able to store your data on site in a database, or even if you cannot be able to store your data on premise, because these two, SQL or Oracle, can be used to manage data on premise. There can also be another solution, which is cloud computing. So when you're talking about cloud computing, so this is where you are able to offer, it's the use of hardware and software to provide various computing services via the internet. So some of the cloud computing services, so cloud computing services are generally categorized into three. Number one is SaaS. So SaaS refers to software as a service. So these are software that is provided and provisioned via the internet. You do not need to physically install it on your computer. All you need is a web browser for you to access it. Another one is platform as a service. So platform as a service, as a data analyst or a data scientist, you need various tools for data analysis. So on platform as a service, you are provided with a platform where all these tools are provided. So you do not need to acquire them one by one. So you just pay for your subscription and you can be able to access the tools. Or infrastructure as a service. So when looking at infrastructure as a service, so infrastructure as a service will be provided with storage infrastructure, network infrastructure. So those are some of the cloud computing services. So these cloud computing services, mostly when it comes to storage, you'll find that, so storage, how can you be able to store? You'll be provided with a data, maybe a data warehouse where you can be able to store that. That is just a database. So some of the cloud service providers, mainly for platform as a service and infrastructure as a service, they'll include platforms such as Amazon Web Services, AWS, Microsoft, Azure. Then we also have Google Cloud Platform. So these platforms provide scalable and flexible storage and compute resources that can be used to manage data. So when you are talking about flexible, because for cloud services, you can be able to scale up or scale down. For example, Google, it provides Google Drive. It's an example of a cloud platform provided by Google. The basic storage is 15 GB. Once you've exhausted your 15 GB, if you need extra storage, you still want to be able to access your mail, you'll have to subscribe for extra storage, or you delete some of the contents that you've stored. So to be able to access more storage space, you have to pay. For example, if you want to access 100 GB storage on Google platform, you need to pay 200 per month, translating to 2,400 annually. So you can see it's something that you can be able to pay. You pay depending on your data needs you'll go for more storage. So the only thing is that the storage, this data is not stored on premise in your machines, but at least for you to be able to access it, you need internet connection for you to be able to access the data. That's where we are talking about the cloud. So for cloud platform, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud Platform. So all these are used for data management. So in data management, you can use either an SQL database, an Oracle database, or if not, you use cloud computing. So Oracle is also a cloud service provider in the name of Oracle Cloud. So not only at the database, but they can also provide you with cloud services. Those are for data management. Then for the description, a data warehouse. So data warehouse is a centralized repository of data that is used for reporting and analysis. So what it does, it consolidates data from various sources. So collecting data from various sources, consolidating data from various sources. So data from various sources will be stored in a data warehouse. Then there's a data lake. So you can be told to differentiate between a data warehouse and a data lake. You're given a statement. A data lake is this. A data warehouse is this. Then you're told, statement 1 is true, statement 2 is true, both statement 1 and 2 are true. None of the statements is true. You're told to select. So you should also expect such questions. So a data lake, what's the difference between a data lake and a data warehouse? So data warehouse is mainly defined. There's not much difference. All these are used for storing that, consolidating data from various sources. The only difference is a data warehouse supports structured data. Now, data lake is used for unstructured data. Purely data lake can accommodate the three: structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Data warehouse is purely structured. So you need to know that. That's the main difference. So data lake can accommodate the three data formats or the three data types. A data warehouse can only contain structured. That's why you are seeing indexing. So indexing is mainly applied in a database. Hope you've not forgotten that. If you want to be able to retrieve contents from a database fast, very fast. So the same way I told you to understand indexing, you want to go to topic 10 in a given book. So for you to be able to easily access topic 10, you'll go to the table of contents and see topic 10 will be found on which page. So with that, you can be able to move directly to the page containing the 10th topic that you want. That's how indexing is used. So also in database, indexing is used to retrieve data. So for you to have indexing, there'll be the first column will be key, which is the primary key. So that can already tell you that that's a data that has been structured into rows and columns. So a data warehouse, it's purely used for structured data. Data that has been organized into rows and columns and follows a predefined format. So for analytics services, basically platform as a service, these cloud services provide you with platforms that can be used for data analysis. So what we are talking about, the the big three in the market, according to the market share: Amazon Web Services, analytics, platform as a service. It provides with platforms and tools for performing data analytics. So tools, infrastructure, and infrastructure for performing data analytics. So that's why cloud computing was key. So Microsoft, Azure Analytics, and Google Cloud Platform Analytics. Google Cloud Platform Analytics. Unless there's a question. Any question? So let me take you to December 2022, question 9. December 2022, question 9. So December 2022, question 9 says, which of the following applications will not likely be used for cloud computing? Which one? Remember, Alibaba is also a cloud service provider. So what I'll do, I'll list you potential cloud service providers. Alibaba also provides cloud services. So which one is not? In fact, even if you did not know that Alibaba is a cloud provider, when you see CL, that's cloud. SQL, you know, is for database. So Azure is by Microsoft, AWS, Amazon Web Services, Alibaba Cloud. So which one is not, will not be used for cloud computing?
SQL.
SQL, structured query language. So any question on that? Any question on the data cleaning and data management? Any question?
Can continue.
Okay. So let's look at some of the questions on data management, then we can call it a night. What is a data warehouse? Question 5. What is a data warehouse? A storage system for structured and unstructured data. So that one is wrong. So for structured and unstructured data, that will be data lake.
Yes.
A type of database for online transaction processing, no, it's not. A database management system, no. So it's a collection of historical data used for reporting and analysis. Once you've collected data from various sources, you've done your cleaning, this data will be taken to a data warehouse. So now that data can later be retrieved for analysis purposes. So it's a collection of historical data. So D is the correct answer. A collection of historical data used for reporting and analysis. I shared the two documents for tools and the MCQs. Then what is the purpose of a data lake? To store historical data for analysis. So what I know, a data lake can store structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. So to store structured data and to store historical data for analysis, these two correctly describe a data warehouse to store unstructured data for analysis. So this is the correct description of a data lake. At least you've looked at some of the questions, unless you want me to create more questions on data tools. I feel I should be able to create more on data cleaning and data management. Any question? So next time we'll look at data visualization. So sorry for today, I could not be available in the afternoon, but at least I've ensured that we've done something. The lesson has not gone to waste. Any question? So you can see whatever we are doing, at least I always take you to the papers. And then also I shared with you these papers in advance. The two, the pilot and the paper that was done, the first paper to be done in December 2022. And also I've shared with you the solutions for part A, the two, so that you can be able to look at it. So you can see when we are doing the questions, like we've done a lot of questions, and you can see the questions, at least they require some sort of reasoning. And then you should also be able to understand all the concepts. Yes, I can see person has raised her hand. Question?
I have a question.
Yes.
On data cleaning. Question 14. Which of the following is not a December 2022?
December 2022.
Yeah.
I didn't see that December 2022. Question?
14.
Question 14.
Pilot paper. Yeah, it's
Pilot paper.
Pilot paper. Yeah.
Which one is not a data cleaning tool?
Yeah, number 14. Yeah.
No, which one is not a data cleaning strategy? 14 and 15.
Yeah.
So 14. Which of the following is not a data cleaning strategy? So for you to be able to understand data cleaning strategies, the steps in the data cleaning processes that we are talking about. Which one is not?
I would say C, fixing data with structural errors.
Projected it here, question 14. So there, in a way, when you are looking at the choices, all these were, they looked correct. Because one, removing incorrect data. Incorrect data is going to affect your data analysis. Duplicate data is also going to have an effect. Structural, you need to fix this structural error. But on the part for filling in for missing data, now you are to now take, yes, this is also a data cleaning strategy, but now when it comes to this, which one will you feel is not important? Because for missing data, it's not a must you can fill in for missing data. You can decide to even delete because you're filling in with which value. In most cases, you'll decide to take an average, but see there you are just filling in. Sometimes that's not the actual value. It might not provide you with the accurate analysis. So this filling in, you'll find that it's not a data cleaning strategy. The best strategy maybe for missing data is to delete the cells or rows with missing values so that you have the correct output during the analysis. So the correct answer is D. Structural errors, it's a key item you need to fix to ensure that your analysis output is correct. So you can see explanation. Filling in for missing data is not considered a data cleaning strategy, but rather an imputation. We are just inputting values there. So data cleaning strategies are focused on identifying and addressing errors and inconsistencies in the data, such as removing incorrect, duplicate data, and fixing structural errors. Because here, if you do not understand it that way, because you'll say that, oh, I've looked at A, B, C, D. All of them seem to be correct. Now, when all seem to be correct, now with that you have to vote. For lack of a better term, voting. Or you arrange them in pecking order. So the one that appears to be less important here is what the one that will choose as the correct answer. That was question 14. Which of the following is not a data cleaning strategies? Then 15. Which one of the following is used in data cleaning? Now you can see in data cleaning, and you can see here, we have a data stage. And we said that it's an ETL tool provided by IBM. So which one will you choose here? So which one will be chosen? Question A. Sorry, question 15, the answer is A, data stage. SQL data management tool. W MicroStrategy tutakujia when you get to data visualization. Question? If there's no question, we can stop there. Any question?
Sir, can you answer the question that you had shared on the screen before the previous one was asked by Hilda? The one that had a diagram.
The one that had a diagram?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see if you can be able to answer that. That feel that this one you'll be able to answer it once we've been able to look at majority of the concepts. Because what it will be asking some of the skills that you should possess as a data analyst. This one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, which of the following could be more appropriate to replace the question mark in the following diagram? Machine learning, mathematics and statistics, substantive research, hacking skill. Like you can see, this one is now multidisciplinary, right? Like what you'll have here where we have the question mark should be able to include all these. So when we are first starting, we looked at the differences between data science and data analysis. So which one was a multidisciplinary field? Which one was multidisciplinary?
Data science.
Data science. Correct. So data analysis is just one of the aspects in data science. And in data analysis, you can apply mathematical and statistical algorithms. You can also apply machine learning algorithms. So the best fit for this is data science. Statistical inference can be applied here in statistics, and also machine learning. With machine learning, can be able to make statistical inference. With predictive modeling, you can also be able to apply that with machine learning. So that takes you back to what was shared about. I shared with you something on artificial intelligence and machine learning. Have I answered you? Hacking skill. So this is multidisciplinary, because now when it comes to hacking mainly is when you want to exploit a vulnerability to be able to gain that unauthorized access. So when you are looking at views of data, vulnerability, please, you can see anytime, I always try to take you back to what we've already covered. So at least hacking skill, there's the hacking that is bad. Those who are exploiting the vulnerability for their own financial gain. Remember, your data should be able to secure it. The objective is security, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So when confidentiality, integrity, and availability is breached, we looked at data security in details. So hacking skills, there's where we have ethical hacking. So an ethical hackers, what they do, the same way a black hat are the cyber criminals, black hat. So the same way a black hat will exploit a vulnerability in a given system so as to steal or compromise the data. So ethical hackers will check for that vulnerability, but with them, their aim will be to recommend that vulnerability so that it can be corrected to ensure that your data is secured. So what will include all these fields? What can now fit here is data science. So if you understood the difference between data science and data analytics, answering that question will not be a problem. Unless there's a question. Have I answered you?
Yes, you have.
So I can see people leaving. I think we can stop at that. Any other question? No question? I wish you a good night.
Thank you.